Well, great day, everyone. Welcome to week 5 of Rise, Higher, Break Free, and Live Unstoppable. We've been having a ball. I've been having a ball, and I hope you have as well. Just diving into some little things that can make the big difference in how we come across as professionals or leaders. So it's been 5 weeks now. And with this topic today, it's all about building confidence. So I have for you today a confidence blueprint. So as we get ready to dive into these 6 key areas, I want you to know that you're right where you should be. As we have greater aspirations to be more, to grow, to build our confidence, to seek higher, every step of the way is a learning process. And I want to encourage you to enjoy the journey, enjoy the steps, and just give yourself a break. If you have great aspirations to do things that requires leading a group, an organization, or even being a more confident person, it is very important that we take a look at some of these little points that we're about to hit. So I'm your host, Mary Haswood Fernandez from Leadership Legacies and Legends Unleashed. That's the podcast. And my mission is to enrich the lives of my clients, to encourage, empower, and equip and launch those powerful leaders. Once you get what you need, even if you have lifetime access to some of my materials, you may not need them on a regular, but you may want to jump back later on and look at some of the topics and some of the skills. So, are you ready for Confidence Blueprint for Working for Life? That's what the title is for today. So, let's start with the foundation of understanding your confidence. It has a couple of attributes. One is from the inside, as in how we show ourselves, and the second one is from the external, what people see. So the internal part is like self-worth, your mindset, and how you center your rock solid self into the confidence of being who you are. So understanding your confidence is an important point because you may feel confident, but you may not show up confident or be interpreted as confident. So you don't really want to worry about that. You just want to show up the best you can. So, number one, you want to really understand confidence. It's inside. That's how you feel, your self worth, all these things, your mindset. These things do impact how we come across. Let's look at point number 2. It takes inner work. And that's what this series is about: personal growth, inner work, confidence building, skill showcasing, as well as authenticity. So to be truly effective, we want to do some inner work, and that's the mental blueprint. Clarity. Let's talk about clarity. Clarity defines your core values and what matters most to you. I tell you, you live long enough in this world and nothing will surprise you. I love the fact that this generation has been brought into a world that they are so far technology wise ahead of a lot of us. However, we can still learn. And yet their confidence level may not match the reality of they are really brilliant, capable, talented, phenomenal individuals. But comparing themselves, possibly working for someone who has a different mindset of containing power, containing talent, that may affect how they proceed. Okay, let's define your core values. What matters most to you? Think about that. You may even want to write it down. Identify your strengths and your gifts, your like your skills, your personality, your traits, your achievements. We all have a lot of them, and some of us have them but do not use them because for some reason could have ran into a brick wall of life and we box them in and stop believing in ourselves. So the inner work is important. So write a personal mission statement for yourself that reflects the purpose and your principles. A mission statement for yourself. At certain points in our life, we are an empty basket looking to be filled with knowledge, wisdom, and experience. But then, as a seasoned state of your life, you're looking to collaborate and to partner. So it's very important to get that statement adjusted for where you are in your life. Let's look next at item 2 of number 1, which is the inner work. You want to reprogram your limited beliefs. Mentors are so awesome. They feed you words of encouragement. They feed you um, pointers and direction of how to move forward in life and how to keep what you already have and take it to the next level and the next level, speaking life into you. So reprogram your limited beliefs. When they speak into you, receive it. If that is a trusted mentor, receive it. I have run into individuals who have been deterred or confidence bruised, and you can say that they are capable, confident leaders, and they'll say, no, 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 I'm not. Because someone has broken their spirit to the point where they're not going to affirm or acknowledge or walk in their power and authority. But that inner work, don't give up on it. It's not just a skill and what you can do, it is what you can do, not just outwardly, but inwardly. So reprogram your limited thinking, replace with empowered statements. Be careful about speaking life or death into your life because there's a lot of power in the tongue. So replace those learning curves with things like I'm learning and I can improve with effort and time and experience. So give yourself a break. And remember to practice daily affirmations tied to the truth, not fantasy, which means you want to climb a mountain and you've never climbed a mountain before, but you can learn and you can take it step by step. Item 3 of that inner work is emotional mastery. Emotional mastery. I can share that I used to wear my feelings, I guess they call it thin skin, when I remember just crying a lot as a young girl because you could hurt my feelings left or right because I believed so big in what was happening. But someone could say something so mean that cracked the bubble. And I just cried because it hurt my feelings. But then as life went on, I had this wonderful pleasure of my brother believing in me so much that he believed I was the one for the job when it came to something as big and serious as partnering with him to do some very important family business. So, emotional mastery. Do not give up on your authentic self just because of a life experience or because a series of horrible, um, I say experiences. Could be work, could be family, could be friends, could be any kind of circle. Know that it's all a learning curve. It's all a learning curve. So, emotional mastery. Don't let those setbacks knock you out or make you think failure is your place to stay. Number 3, let's talk about outer work, the action blueprint. What are you doing with the outer work? Outer work is competence. Competence, and it builds confidence. There are a lot of individuals in your space and in your life who can open doors of wisdom and opportunities. There are also the opposite, a lot of people who do not open doors and just hand feed or spoon feed you what they feel you need. How do you think about this new world we live in where you have someone coming straight out of this out of the university with AI skills, technology skills, all kinds of skills, and they work for maybe a company that has not updated its skills or its mode of operation or its productivity? Is that person a threat to those who don't have those skills, or is that person an asset to that company promotional material? So at an event I went to the other day, I was really excited because I met a young woman who was talking about leadership development skills on a different platform and at different stages. And she and I will meet and we'll talk about developing something where we can target that audience that we're looking to work with. That's collaboration. That's two giants coming together to talk about something they can do to impact the world. Too often, people want you to step under an umbrella, do this, do that, do this, do that, because I believe this is what you need. Be mindful that not everyone needs everything you offer. They maybe came to the table to eat only that they needed so that they can fly off to the next level. So we want to listen to the clients, listen to the people, and address their individual needs and not do a cookie cutter type thing. And when I say that, it's just ideas and suggestions and learning curves myself. You receive some of the information as, oh, that's a great tip, but that's a great tip, or I don't agree with that. That's the freedom of walking in your authenticity And that's the freedom of collaboration and respecting the talent on the table, the order of operation, how you can create something big for your company, update your company, and keep everyone moving forward. So let's proceed. The outer work, that's your action blueprint. Make your skills priority, master them consistently, because that's more powerful than energy bursts. Oh, we can be so guilty of that. But as a small business, very often you don't have the team or the staff, and you feel like you're just not making progress. So we want to be very mindful and careful to prioritize our time so that we can master consistency versus those eat booms, or that was one of the phrases one of my mentors used to use, or those bursts of energy out of pure motivation. Consistency rules. A lesson I have been learning to walk in. Adopt a growth mindset. Adopt a growth mindset that gives you a chance to master the little weak points on your skills journey. Skill gaps may be things where you can take time to say, hey, I'm going to take this course, I'm going to learn this, or I'm going to enter in here. And it wouldn't be neat if you could just say that. But skill gaps are just not mistakes, they're not flaws. You're on the growing edge of things at that time. Be open to grow, okay? Track your progress. If you're doing little things that contribute to the big goal, celebrate those wins, because it gives you a sense of accomplishment. Some have charts up where they can X out or color in tasks or checklists to give that brain a sense of, oh, I am making progress, I am moving forward. And because I like to keep these down to like 20 minutes, and we're talking about a blueprint for confidence in life and work, we want to be mindful that there's so much more to this, but I want to make sure I hit at least some of the topics that I prepared for you and some of the subtopics. However, this can be a whole workshop. This could be a whole class. This could be anything you need it to be for your team, your staff, or for yourself. And then I have a tool, a gift for you at the end of this, and look for it on my website in the next couple of days. Why? Those growth spurts, those priorities, and those things that you have to do. When you have a small staff, you're not able to say, hey, go do that and go do this and go do that. You have to put it in your schedule to do. All right. So competence will build your confidence. All right. So outer work, we're talking about outer work for the blueprint. A is competence builds confidence, presence, and body language. We talked about body language a whole segment the other day. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and make eye contact. I was in a meeting the other day, and I was making sure I sat in the right place so I'd be close to the speaker, because I came to hear the speaker and to meet the other people that were there. But priority one was the short time we were going to be with the speaker. So when I entered the room, I found a place to sit right close to the front near the speaker. Second, I scanned the room, looking at different people making eye contact. Some looked and some did not know how to respond with long enough, with someone looking them in the eye, long enough to say hi or nod or something. They looked away. Sometimes that is just a response. So body language is extremely important in the outer world. Your personal presence is communicated in your body language. Dress with intention, clothes that signal self-respect and readiness. Oh, I love brown. I love orange. I love yellow. I love bright colors. When I wasn't feeling so excited about myself, I had this sweater. And I said, oh, I love such dated looking things. You know, I was talking not so happy about myself, but I love this sweater. It is perfect for my brown collection. So dress with intention, clothes that signal self-respect and readiness. Speak clearly and calmly. I am so excitable. I am so hyper and excited about people, things, and life, to the point where sometimes I notice what I will do is this: talk too fast. So speak calmly and clearly. A third aspect of outer work is courage through action. These are topics that are layering over one another. If you will look at some of the things that we were talking about earlier in the other segments, you see that these little attributes do overlap. Courage through action. Confidence doesn't precede action. Action makes confidence follow. So take micro risks daily and remember to speak up. You know, when I tell people, I ran into this recently that I got to get those hearing aids. Hearing aids because I have a type of hearing loss that doesn't work with the over counter. It's fine for me, but I was noticing in that group, is everyone whispering or what? And then I had to remember it was me. So sometimes they take that as I'm being funny because they don't think I need hearing aids. They think I'm saying something about them. No, I'm serious. And that's not one person, that's several people. So do what you have to do. Go get what you need to show up 1,001%. And don't worry about what others have to say. I'm not even worried about what those things will look like. I can't wait to get them. And with all the changes in Medicare, Medicaid, and the new enrollment period, hey, go get those things you need to make things work like you should. But I got to hear everything. Remember, I sat close to that speaker. So confidence follows action. Do what you have to do to get that job done. And celebrate the courage and just um, be mindful of your progress so that you can feed your joy, so that you can feed your excitement, and you can feed your progress. You can feed your uh, mindset where you say, oh, I am making progress. I am growing. Growing, personal growth, self-care, those are other undertones or targets or platforms that are engulfed in this 8-week free Rise, Higher, Break Free, and Live Unstoppable series. So this Rise series is letting you know that it's a process, and you'll hear it over and over again. It's a process. Number 4 of 6 tips I want to give you in this topic of your confidence blueprint in life and in work. Environment. Your environment and getting to confidence. People that you surround yourself with, are they growth minded like yourself? Do they understand where you're coming from? Do they relate to your heart? Are they in your heart? Are they in your outer circle? Or are they in a public circle? I had someone explain that you have people in your life that are in your tight love circle. They have access to you in time and space where others cannot. Then you have people that can access another element of your life, but they can never get here. Where, like if you love and like someone, they can break your heart or whatever, and then you release that and move on and grow. Now, people, it's important to surround yourself with like-minded people, with growth-minded, encouraging words, and things that feed the path that you're on, because others are possibly on the same path. In fact, that room that I was in, it was filled with people having a common interest of building their lives and their businesses and how to serve the public. So that was like-minded, which means that we had plenty to talk about. If you didn't get to talk about one, you could talk to another, because all of us had a lot in common. So your environment will also work with that confidence building. Your space. Keep your workspace organized. I have been working on getting myself organized and categorized in the last few years. When you get to where you have more time to put on your dreams and your goals, and your family's smaller, especially when you have priorities of God, family, and career. When you have more time for yourself and you are building, you end up not um, prioritizing work. You put that now almost on the bottom rung, and then you prioritize being with people. Okay, now let's move forward. Number 5, Oh, we have some more under that environment that you can design that will help your confidence building. But we want to get all of these in. Renewal, sustaining confidence. How do you renew the growth journey of building your confidence? Reflect weekly. Look back on your checklist. What did you accomplish? Oh my goodness, I love those circles where there's accountability and people who are walking this path of learning with you and encouraging and equipping. Those are some great opportunities to be in. In fact, one of the guests and attendees at my session, at the session I attended, had a blueprint for working with his team, training, motivating, and encouraging them. It was so powerful. I would love to have that individual on my podcast because what could help one could help a lot more people. So do things that renew your confidence. Protect your energy. This is extremely important. Protect your energy. There are very important people in your life, and you want to be able to pick up the phone and reach them. But if you can't, you got to get in that car and go see them. There are a lot of things happening now in society where you don't have to get in your car because you have technology. You can order food in, you can order clothes, you can have people come to you. And then we're finding a lot of people not engaging with people. They're shrinking back to a solo life. Remember, we I believe we as people are better when we need and are with each other. So be mindful of protecting your energy, but not secluding yourself. Sleep and nutrition and how you eat, your mental health, all those things give you energy. Feed your joy is what I say. And don't forget to give back. There's something about giving back to others. And number six, let's talk about number six. Number six, you want some confidence building daily habits. Confidence building daily habits. So, like in the mornings, what do you do by routine? In the midday, what do you do by routine? And then in the evening, and then of course there's nighttime. I have routines I was locked into by my heart for several months that went on to become a couple of years. And then life changed, and I changed that because there were other demands that came up, and there was more freedom and flexibility to release some of the responsibility so that I could attend to other things that were demanding attention. By midday, what are you doing? If you're in that 9 to 5, what are you doing to feed your soul and to feed yourself? Be mindful of that as well. Then I want you to think about, when do you cut off? I make sure I cut off from work so that I am 1,001% not going to work all day and all night because I can and because I love to. It's not healthy. So, number six, daily confidence rebuilds you. So, remind yourself to balance out your day so that you have times to do the things that you love, time to do the things that you must do on a daily routine, and time to feed your joy, your soul, and your energy. And that way you're not at a drop of a hat. Just like when I finish, I have several appointments I want to book because it was so exciting connecting with people, and I don't want them to wait forever. And I have something so special coming up. So, with that said, that completes our segment that I wanted to hit today, which was all about feeding your confidence and getting a blueprint that works for you. And do you want to review those topics real quick? Because we want to keep to about 20 minutes. We did 6. So if you found value in this, make sure you let me know which one hit home with you, which one you need to do more work on, and which one do you need more information on. So for those who would like a little handout that comes with this as a thank you, I will post over on my website where you can download a little reminder sheet, a checklist, and use it as a daily reminder or a focus sheet to bring you back to, all right, I do have things in order. Everything is working out. as it should, and I am showing up 101%. I am not shrinking back. I am not making eye contact. I am on my game, but I am also taking care of myself. Not just business, but taking care of yourself. So this has been Mary Haswell Fernandez, your host of Leadership Legacies and Legends Unleashed, the podcast. And I'm doing something special for all my new podcast guests that come on board between now and the end of this month, because we have a big event we do each year. And so they will be elevated and eligible for Grand Marshal Challenge for the end of the year, as well as the new year coming in. We do cancer and violence against women, and helping our veterans. Those are our three giving focuses. And we have grand marshals to help us make a free event in the warmer weather that we start preparing for now. So self-nominate yourself. If you would like to learn more about being a guest, self-nominate yourself. And if for any reason you do not get a response, please send me a reminder email, because I have responded and I noticed that a couple of people did not get the response. Have a wonderful day. Be focused on your confidence blueprint for work and life so that you can show up 101% for yourself and for your career. God bless.